welcome to Tuesday Maths. We're going to start off with Gimme 5 minutes to answer 5 questions. Don't forget to do these in your journal. Don't forget to put the date. Show your working out if you use any. Don't feel scared about using jottings. That's perfectly acceptable. Anything that helps you. And hopefully you've got a timer as well. Let's have a look at today's questions. Okay, pause the video there. You have 5 minutes and I'll see you at 5. Okay, hopefully you have managed to complete those in the 5 minutes. Let's have a look at the answers. So 265 add 138 is 403. 326 take away 75 is 251. 48 divided by 4, I would have decomposed this into a 40 and an 8 and divided those by 4 and then added the answers back together. 40 divided by 4 is 10. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Give me an answer of 12. And then 58 times 8, again I'd have decomposed this into 50 and 8. And 8 times 50 I know is 400. And 8 times 8 is 64. So altogether it would be 464. And then finally for this one I would do an inverse operation. 96 divided by 6. So 90 divided by 6, well I know 6 times 10 is 60. That leaves me 30 over. 6 times 5 is 30. And then 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I would add all those bits together to work out that the answer is 16. 16 times 6 is 96. Okay, let's move on to today's lesson. So today we're moving on actually to simple dividing. Now if you remember when we did division in chapter 3, we talked about some of the language of division and we came up with words like dividing, sharing, sharing equally, I can't remember what else did we have, division, quotient, which was the answer when we were dividing. Was the proper mathematical term was quotient. So you might remember some of that from when we did our dividing lessons. Right, let's have a look at our in focus task, and today we have Sam and Charles. Now if you wanted to, you could actually have a go at dividing 68 items if you need that kind of support. And if you're thinking about what 68 items you might have in the house to divide, you can use things like any sort of dried beans, that they can be quite good for counting. You could even use bits of paper if you want, if you feel the need to have something concrete to work with, or if you've got any buttons or counters or anything like that, you can also use them if you want to. So today we're starting off with Sam and Charles. They have 68 sweets and they want to share them equally among themselves. How many sweets will each person get? So this is one of these questions where you need to figure out what's the important information that I need to have. Okay, so let's think about, first of all, what is the question that we're being asked? What is the equation that we need to write? Have a think about that. Okay, and hopefully you've come up with 68 sweets divided by 2 because there are 2 children and we need to work out how many sweets each person will get. Let's have a look at the different methods we can use. So here's the equation written down, 68 divided by 2, and we're trying to find the number of sweets each person gets by dividing 68 by 2. Okay, so let's have a look at the base 10 option. So here we have 6 tens and 8 ones, and this is also represented here in this decomposing model, this part whole. So you have your 68 at the top, that's this here. And in this case they're partitioning into 60 and 80 to make it easier to divide by 2. So here's our 6/10s, or our 60 here, that we're dividing by 2, and they've divided this by 2, just putting a line straight through the middle. And you can see that if you divide 60 by 2, you end up with 30. So you could write that down as a little answer there if you wanted to keep note. And then we need to deal with the ones. And they're shown here with our base 10 model here, or they're shown in the decomposing method here. Okay? So dividing 8 ones by 2 is the same thing, you just split that in half and you end up with 4 ones in each half like this. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then you need to add the answers together. So we started off with 68 divided by 2 and we got 30, that's shown by one line here, and we got 4, that's shown by these 4 ones here. You add them together and you get 34. So each person gets 34 sweets. Okay, hopefully that has been relatively straightforward for you. Let's have a look at the guided practice. And again, as it says, you can use base 10 to help you. So here we have 46 that's been decomposed into a 40 and a 6. So if I was to draw that using a pen as a sort of base 10, if you like, I would have 4 of my 10 sticks here for 40 and 4. Let's just imagine they're all the same size and that they're base 10. And then I would have 6 ones over here. I'm just going to do them as sort of dots. Oops, that one's got a bit of a wiggle. Never mind, you get the idea. I'm just going to change my pen colour so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to make it black now. So I'm going to divide 40 divided by 2 because we're dividing by 2. So there's my 4 base 10s, and if I can very neatly, hopefully, draw a little line through there, that's them half. So you will see there's 20 in each half. So 40 divided by 2 is 20. And then if I come over here to my base 10, I can divide them in half into 2 equal parts, and you can see there's 3 on each equal part. So we have a 20 and a 3. So 46 divided by 2 is 23. Let's see if I can manage to write that in a legible fashion. It's a little bit tricky, these is really challenging my skills. 23. Okay, so you can use a similar method to have a go at answering these guided practice questions. So you can draw those bars onto your piece of paper and these dots to represent your ones to help you. Or if you don't need to do that, if you just want to use the part-whole method, just use the part-whole method. But I would like you to see some working out for that. Now, as you move down here, of course, they make it a little bit trickier. So here you need to figure out, if you partition this into 60 and something else, what would be in here? What's the value of the ones going in here? And just note that this time you're dividing by 3. And then down here, they're asking you to divide 88 twice. First of all, by 4, and you need to work out how you're going to decompose 88 into 10s and 1s. What would belong in each of these circles? That's your first thing. Then you need to have a go at dividing it by 4, and then have a go at dividing it by 8. And when you've done that, have a look at the answers that you get. What does that tell you? Because I'm hoping you'll notice a pattern. Look at what you're dividing by and what the answer is, and see if you can notice a pattern, and let me know. Right, let's have a look at the worksheet so we know what's coming up, see if there's any surprises for us. And here you can see there aren't really any surprises. They're asking you to now decompose these into 10s and 1s. Just notice what you're dividing by. And this part here is to put each of the answers in. So once you've worked out what you're decomposing this into, this will be your 10. So in this case that would be 80, and you would do 80 divided by 2 and you would put the answer there. And this would be your 6 ones, and you would do 6 divided by 2 and you would put your answer there. Add those two together to get your final answer. Don't forget to put your date on your work. Okay, when you've finished your worksheet, at the end here we have some additional problems for you to have a go at. Okay, and you can use that part-whole method to help you. Okay, and then after that we've got all of the answers. And this will be on the website. This will be on the website as a PDF. If you look at this lesson, you'll be able to get the answers from there. Okay, have a go. I'm looking forward to seeing your work later on Dojo. Otherwise, I shall see you tomorrow. Good luck.